Hi, and welcome to my video as I go through the exercises determining if I'm financially independent. It's a new year, and I figured no better time like the present to wrap my head around my finances. I also wanted to document my results so I can hold myself accountable and track progress. To go through this exercise, I'm first going to collect my monthly expenses, then I'm going to determine how much I have in investments accounts and how much I could make off those investment accounts at a reasonable percent income amount, and last, see if that monthly income amount is more than my monthly expenses, and if it is, voila, I'm financially independent. I've been motivated to go through this exercise after watching several other people's content. Specifically, the PPC Ian guy is absolutely brilliant, mad dividend scientist and has great insight into companies. Gen X Dividend Investor puts out amazing content when analyzing as different companies, and Matt Money, and I think the other guy's name is the Passive Income Investor, who are so laser focused in becoming financially independent at such a young age. So that said, let's start this journey. I went through my checking account and I compiled my monthly expenses. I'm a 38-year-old who lives in Phoenix, Arizona area, which is relatively cheap compared to California and New York. But you'll also notice I'm not exactly a minimalist. I do have a maid and a pool service. I also have a food prep company and spend, as you see, $650 a month on food, which is my largest bill. But one thing you'll also notice, I don't have a mortgage payment. I have paid that off, and believe me, that helps so much when you're done paying your house off with cash flow. One other item that I'm not paying for now, but I wanted to add on, is medical insurance or health insurance and medical costs, because even though I get that through an employer, if I were to stop working or retire, then I would need to pay that myself, and I put that as kind of an estimated value. So that gets me to $2,653. I also added what I'm calling lifestyle expenses. Again, I don't want to decrease my lifestyle in retirement, so I need to account for these as well. So adding money for trips, clothing, entertainment, miscellaneous type items. And that is another $1,000 a month. So that gets me to $3,653 as what I'm calling my monthly expenses. So now let me go and let's look at what I have in investments. Now to track my accounts, I'm using Mint, which is an Intuit website. I have no affiliation or anything with them, but it just gives me the ability to log into each of my investment accounts, and then it can keep track of all of them together. After doing that, I found out that my total of my investment accounts is $1,065,019.98. Now, the first question you might ask is, why so many accounts? As you can see, I have Acorns, M1, and Robinhood. And I decided to try out those because I guess all the cool kids were doing it and wanted to see how those platforms performed. The main reason I probably have different accounts is because the FDIC insurance only provides insurance up to $250,000. And I think probably all of you dividend investors, the next thing you would ask is, how much am I making on dividends every year? And the answer would be, I don't know. I really don't know, and I need to find out. I need to look at my December year-end statements for these different accounts. Now, all these accounts aren't equal. And what I mean by that is some of these are retirement accounts, and some of these are accounts that I can actually withdraw without penalty right away. So I had to then separate those two accounts and get totals for each of those accounts. So after separating these two accounts, I see that I have a retirement account of over $600,000 and a brokerage account that I'm going to consider as everything that isn't retirement. And what I'm considering retirement is all accounts that I will have penalty with if I touch them before I'm 59 and a half. Now, going from 38 to 59 and a half, that gives me about 20 years. So if I'm using 10 years as a doubling period, I'm going to consider that my retirement account will double from $600,000 to $1.2 million, and then from $1.2 million to $2.4 million. So I should be okay at 59 and a half. What I have to focus in on is the brokerage account, because I need to use that as income till 59 and a half. And I don't want to be withdrawing money from it. I just want to be living off the dividends. So I used what I felt was a reasonably conservative or realistic percentage from about 3 to about 4%, and looked at how much income I would make off of my brokerage account. And then what I did was I subtracted that from my $3,653 monthly expenses. And as you can see, depending on the exact portfolio income percentage, I'm between $2,100 to about $2,500 deficit for my goal. But there's a plot twist. I have rental properties. I have 2 single-family houses. Currently, they gross $2,900 a month. And I could actually do maybe another video on my experiences with rental properties. I wouldn't consider myself some savvy rental investor. I've kind of backed into these. I've had one for 7 years and another one for 5 years. And they've done pretty well. Now, there are expenses that are associated with each property, and I've combined everything together. So with the $2,900 I make monthly, it costs me about $950 in expenses. So that gives me $1,950 a month extra that I can add to my monthly income. So I go back to my original question. Am I financially independent? Well, let me put all the numbers together. If I'm going to take 3% as what I'm going to earn in income from dividends from my $463,000 and add that with my rental income, that only gets me to $3,108.43. And with my monthly expenses being $3,653, I still am at a deficit of $544.57 a month. So it looks like I'm not financially independent. I still need to figure out how to get that $544. But this is where my journey begins. Thanks for watching.